what I love about LeBron is that LeBron uses his platform and he stands on it for other things outside of basketball. We heard people like Laura Ingraham basically telling him, just shut up and dribble, but he refused to do so. And with all that stuff that just went on, what I was just talking about with the arrest of Travis and Gregory McMichael for the murder of Ahmaud Arbery, he stood up and he actually tweeted out about it and said basically, he is sick and tired of black men literally being hunted down every day, and he called for justice. What do y'all feel about athletes, artists, entertainers using their platforms for social issues the way LeBron uses his, Trey?
I feel like if you feel it in your heart, I feel like you should speak on it. Whether it be talking about this of a social injustice, or whether it's about breast cancer, or whatever the case may be, whatever it is, I think you should definitely use your platform and use your voice. But I feel like it's more so about action. I think a piece of that's left out is the action behind it. And somebody that I have a tremendous amount of respect for is Colin Kaepernick. I was able to see that kind of firsthand, like how that went down with him. And I also had a teammate named Eric Reed who actually kneeled with him in San Fran. So just seeing how he took it so serious, and he took the initiative to not only speak out about it, but to do work about it. And I was actually, like I said, able to see it firsthand in the locker room. There's a conversation, if not every day, every other day. And I'm big on standing on what you believe in and standing up for what you believe is right.
So what was your feelings like when some of the owners came out and some of the other players refused, not necessarily to kneel or whatever, but like Jerry Jones coming out and basically telling his players that they couldn't kneel, or the president calling those who did kneel sons of bitches? What was your feelings as one of the peers of those guys who were standing for something, or in this case, kneeling for what's right?
It was mixed, because you gotta think this is my job. This is someone that I'm employed by. But I feel like he should respect the way that I feel, and respect, my thought process on what's going on, not only in the world, but into people that look like me that is happening to. So, I think sometimes people just got to stay in their realm, man. If you deal with money, you deal with money. If you have workers, you deal with workers. But you also have to understand that we're human, we're people too. We have our own feelings. I don't have to fall in line with the way that you feel, how you view something, I think that it does get a little bit cloudy when the nailing was going on. And, technically we on their time, if you want to say it like that. So I get it. It may not fit into that image or whatnot, but you also tell us to go into the community, be leaders. Do what's right in the community. We can't just be out in the streets doing X, Y, and Z. So I feel like for someone to, like I said, feel the way that they feel about a situation, stand on it, not only speak about it, but do some action towards it. I mean, I feel like you can't do no wrong with that. That should be justified.
Amen. Amen.
What are you talking about, Ashley?
But
No, I completely agree. And I think it's a sticky situation, too, because you have to remember, especially in the NFL, there's a huge discrepancy when it comes to paychecks. It's a much larger league than, say, the NBA, where guys are making a lot more money, even to sit on the bench. So you have a bunch of guys with a bunch of different financial situations going on. You're basically asking them to risk feeding their families and taking care of them for years and years to come, even after they're playing, to speak out. But on the other side of the coin, you're looking at leagues that are predominantly Black people, and you have Black communities looking up to them, young kids looking up to them. So it's almost, you feel like they should have a responsibility to speak out on issues that affect the communities that support them. Because at the end of the day, a lot of supporters of LeBron James, of, Russell Wilson, of Patrick Mahomes, of, the top Black athletes in the NBA, in the NFL, is the Black community. So you almost feel like, yes, it's not your responsibility. You can't force somebody to speak out on issues. You also can't villainize them if they don't speak out, but you can understand why people are disappointed when they don't use the platform that is really given to them by the people who support them, the community that supports them, to speak out on issues that affect them, that a lot of the times their voices aren't heard. So you can kind of understand both ends of the coin, if you will.
Donny, you got to understand both points, man, both sides. You have a platform, you have a responsibility, in a sense, if you feel a certain way on the inside, to use your platform to speak out against injustices if you feel there are injustices. However, you shouldn't feel the pressure to say something just because the community is telling you should say something. If you don't feel that strongly about something, or if you're not that knowledgeable about something, then you shouldn't speak up, because you could be doing sometimes more harm than good if you're going out there saying something, standing on the platform and looking like a fool, because they can point and say they told you so. But I applaud people like LeBron James. I have come against others who have told him that he should not use that platform as an athlete to shut up and dribble, because as a sportscaster, and Ashley, you may be able to speak on this, whenever I've spoken out about any time of injustice, I've always been told, just stick to sports. Well, I'm not, because I'm more than just a sportscaster. I'm a man. I'm an American citizen that pays taxes in this country. I serve this country in the United States Air Force, and I have rights, and I have kids, and I have people I care about. So you damn right, I'm going to use my platform and my big ass mouth to speak up on issues that I feel strongly about. So I applaud them for doing that.
100%. And I mean, I've been told as a woman plenty of times to, stick to sports or go to the kitchen, either or. It's one of the two that I usually get. But when it comes to the topic of athletes speaking out, I mean, you have to also look at it, like I said, you can't ask people to risk their livelihood, especially if they don't feel comfortable doing it. But then also, you can't have campaigns like More Than an Athlete or Shut Up and Dribble or the different, advocacies there are out there to kind of give athletes a platform to speak out and then not use that platform. Because then people look at it like, well, we're giving you the platform to speak out and to speak about all these issues that you say affect your community and X, Y, and Z. And when I say people, I mean non-Black people, non-minorities. But then you don't take that platform, and nobody's asking athletes to be Rosa Parks or Martin Luther King. At the end of the day, they're not activists, they're athletes. But you're still people, you're still Black men, you're still Black people, and you should feel somewhat of a responsibility to speak out on Black issues. But then we as fans, we as commentators, we as spectators also can't villainize people who choose not to do it. You can be disappointed, but it doesn't make them bad people. It's just not a choice you would have made.
Trey, have you ever had a teammate, one way or the other, basically try and tell you guys, hey, you know what, y'all need to calm down that rhetoric, or criticize other teammates because of their stances?
Definitely have, and I chalked it up to ignorance. People speak on what they don't know of, and sometimes, like you said, that's not a good thing. I can't tell somebody who didn't grow up in my city and in my area, and I can't explain a story to them about a certain situation and they get it the way that I get it because I was there, I felt it. And vice versa. Someone explaining something to me is gonna hit me differently when they telling it to me versus them going through it. So a lot of things, man, when it's two different sides of a spectrum. And if you can't feel the other side, I think you should just simply shut up.
Absolutely. And Donny, like I was talking, I actually came out against a colleague of mine. I refuse to say his name because I think sometimes he wants that attention and whatnot. But I've come out against him before when he criticized LeBron James, because he's basically accusing LeBron of clout chasing and using somebody's death to give him more attention, which is one of the most utterly ridiculous freaking things I've ever heard in my life. But that is also part of the issue, because this man is also Black. And when he does that, sometimes what he doesn't understand is that it gives the people who are looking and thinking that we're race baiting, or we're just screaming at every little turn that everything is racism. It gives people on the other side who don't see our issues or don't understand our issues an excuse or reason to say, look, it's not racism. I can get away with it because, look, he's saying it's not racism, a Black person. And I'm not going to call those people. I told you I don't like calling names, the Toms or the Coons. And I think that's also divisive as well. But at the same time, it is not productive and it's reckless when we do things like that. So I believe all of us having our platform, we have to be able to use our platform for the betterment of society and for good, and to make sure that we're doing it the right way. So
let me say that I love LeBron James. He's a soldier and he champions our people, and too many people don't have that platform to do that. He's not scared. I'm not saying other people are scared, but, LeBron really don't care. You know what I mean? He understands the Black community. He understands his words, his power. So I champion LeBron James, and you know what I mean. He's doing a good job by bringing social issues that some people won't talk about to the forefront. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He's doing a hell of a good job, man.
He is.
Whoever you're talking about, you know what I'll say about him.
Yep, I know. I'm not even gonna mention his name, but hey,
but even when LeBron come out and say something like that, I feel like he makes it. I don't want to use the word cool, but he makes it acceptable for even other athletes that might have felt that way, that didn't want to voice their opinion. Like, well, damn, he's saying it. He is who he is, and I need to voice my opinion also. And I feel like it just
because you know
broadens
what
the spectrum.
You know what, Trey? Remember back in the day when Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, Bill Russell, all them got together and champion Muhammad Ali. Man, you see them dudes doing it, man. You like some people, like Ashley said, might be scared, but because they scared to, you know what I mean, to lose that check. But if you don't fire LeBron and then he says something, you can't find the other people. You get what I'm saying? So it's good that LeBron sits up there and he champions. What do you feel about that, Ashley?
I mean, some people may look at it like, you know, LeBron James is one of the richest athletes in the world. So he has the ability to speak up about basically whatever he wants, because who's going to fire LeBron James? Who's going to take him off the campaign? Who's not going to pay him his money? But I think also this even goes to the Jordan, LeBron, Kobe debate. I think one of the things that kind of put LeBron ahead of Jordan in the sense of, you know, relevancy, at least when it comes to the community, is his activism and is his willingness to speak out on issues. Jordan was a little bit more silent. He was a little bit more political. He really didn't speak out unless it affected him directly or his money. LeBron James has reached a point in his career where he's made a lot of cash and continues to, but now he sees that it's not just about him. It's about a whole community of people, a lot of people who cannot speak up for themselves. There are people, you know, here in Miami, Liberty City, Opelika, Carroll City, who are dealing with the same issues that are made public in the news, and nobody ever hears about it. But nobody will ever listen to them speak. You need somebody like a LeBron James or a Colin Kaepernick, and it's unfortunate that a lot of their peers don't back them up. I think really you see that more in the NFL and the NBA, because the NBA is an international game. And I think they're a little bit more liberal in allowing their players to speak out on issues. There's not so much red tape. I think the NFL still is a lot of it behind when it comes to their liberalism. But I just wish that we would see more of it. But again, I can't condemn somebody for not doing something the way I would do it, but you can feel disappointed. So.
And it comes down to finances. Once again, when on that point, Ashley and Trey, you can speak on this because like you said, the NBA is, yes, it's worldwide. It's more international, whatnot. Baseball players probably could do the same thing if they had more black players. But here's the difference. It comes down to the finances. The difference in those two sports in the NFL, guaranteed contracts.
Right.
Brothers don't want to lose that money when it's time to negotiate a deal or whatever. So, Trey, on that realm, because you guys don't have those guaranteed contracts besides the guaranteed contracts that you sign, the signing bonuses and whatnot, do you feel like guys are a little bit more afraid to speak up in the NFL because it is a financial issue?
Definitely, and I would 100% agree with that from the standpoint of, like you said, like Ashley said, a lot of people financially is definitely different brackets. You know, we got 53 people on the roster, so everybody on that team is not making the same amount of money. You may have 10 max, realistically 6 guys that's getting paid as we would say. So it definitely puts up a barrier for people to come out and go against, I guess, an owner's wishes or what a head coach might feel or what a GM might tell you to do. And I've seen it firsthand. Somebody, you know, speak out about something and, you know, they be gone the next couple of weeks. But I will say this, it's crazy how things become full circle because that same person ended up right back where they started. So in reality, man, your game is your game, man. If you could ball, you could play, you're going to get picked up.
Right.
You know, so I feel like sometimes, man, you just got to take a chance. I speak on and I speak out about what I feel like I need to. The platform that I do have to use it to my advantage, and I feel like every athlete should. Like I said, it's not about race, it's not about color. Some people just don't feel things. You know, you could look just like me and not understand the situation that's going on at hand right now. So I feel like that's irrelevant because it's not just about us. Everybody should be able to speak out because we all have a conscience and we all know what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah, whatever you feel really committed to, that's what you should speak on. And if you're not committed to it, you don't feel that strongly about it, don't speak up. But don't not support the people that feel strongly about what they feel good about.